I was sweating for a second. If you are a notebook person, you know how it feels to not be able to find your notebook. And I could not find this new notebook that I got, which has my outline for this video. And I was sweating trying to find it. It could also be the hoodie in June. Not entirely sure. Well, tomorrow will be June. Not entirely sure. Those things may or may not be related. But anyway, today I am refilming the video that is my summer goals. Now, I did already film this video once, but I ended up scrapping it. Lighting in that video was terrible. There was no other way around it. So I decided, you know what? I tried like messing with the color settings. I tried a custom filter. It wasn't working. So here I am filming that video for the second time. We're going through my summer goals that might help you in planning for your summer. Normally I would do a quarterly video, or as you may or may not know, I am a teacher. So the summer is when I really truly have a full season or a full like set of multiple weeks in a row where I can truly focus on my business. Last summer, of course, was my first real summer in business, but I had recently had the baby at that point. Let's first talk about my quarter one goals. Now, when I filmed this video here, I talked a lot about being nervous to share my side business with the people in my everyday life. For me, it was far less nerve-wracking, as weird as it may sound, to share it with you guys online than it was to share with people in my life. And I don't know why. Someone left me a very kind comment, but was like, well, why are you so scared to share it with people in your family? You know, what's so wrong with crafting? And the answer is absolutely nothing, but it was just something that I had to get over personally. And I was able to finally do it. And so many things have changed since then. And I'm glad, so glad that, I finally was able to face that fear and share with the people in my world. So I finally got over it. I finally shared it. So a lot of today's kind of goals have to do with things locally. Even though they are more local, they can still apply to you wherever you live. So let's start with upcoming events. So I have decided that I plan on being a specialty market vendor for several reasons. And when you're coming to this point in your business, you'll be able to decide, okay, I want to be every Friday at the farmer's market or every Saturday at the farmer's market, or I don't want to be every Saturday at the farmer's market. You know, there are tons of options wherever you live, I'm sure. You just have to kind of get out there and see what there is. I had no idea there was this large of a network of markets and vendor events and things like that before I started looking into it myself. Festivals, all kinds of things, right? So what I have found is there are general farmers markets and then there are specialty vendor events. Our farmers markets are very big deals. I live in a very I live in a town, so our town is very much so a small business. Let me focus on small business. Because of that, I actually know the candle and soap makers locally. Their kids actually go to my school. And they're so nice. Every winter break or every Christmas, every teacher appreciation week, they shower us with these wonderful soaps and lip balms and shower steamers. They're just really, really great people. They're so nice. And to me, kind of bringing my soaps, they do mainly soaps and they also have, like on their farm, they also do like vegetables and stuff like that. So for me, bringing my soaps into somewhere where they have already been established doesn't kind of fit the type of community that I want. I believe that there is enough space for everyone, yes, but I don't believe in encroaching on someone else's or stepping on someone else's feet to get to my success, if that makes sense. And I just feel like if I was to go to the every Saturday town farmers market, that I would be doing that. And I don't like the feeling of that. You know, I don't think for me that is the way to find success. So all that to say, you know, they are at all of our local town farmers markets. So I will not be going. I will be instead going as a customer to support them because I really, I've used, obviously, as I told you, they've given us a ton of different soaps and things to try. I have used them. They are wonderful. They are definitely different than mine, but I do like them for what they are and appreciate their uniqueness. And I will still, you know, always support that. Specialty markets I will be attending include some vineyards, which I've already done one. That was so much fun. I did a spring open house at a boudoir studio, which I did vlog about in this video here. That was actually my very first my very first vendor event, which I loved. Again, I'm looking for kind of smaller, more artisan maybe would be the word. Like I don't want to go somewhere that has like 20 MLMs. No offense to anyone at an MLM, but it's just not something that I align with. So just those less common, I guess. We do have well, hopefully you don't mind the scene change because my battery actually died. I think this video is cursed. My camera battery died as I was filming. So now I'm going to finish filming it on my phone here. This is the rest of my kitchen, and that's the hallway that was blocked with the pink tent in my last video. So anyway, back to what I was saying. We do have a really nice sculpture garden, and they do tons of like art exhibits. They have events there. I actually went to a wedding there. This is probably like 5 or 6 years ago now, but it is beautiful. It just is very, very nice. It's unique. There's nothing else like it in our area. It's just very cool. And they have a lot of vendor events. They have festivals. Right now they're having like a garden fairy and gnome festival. Also they do like a Christmas and lights thing. It's really cool. They just offer a lot of really unique experiences. And I applied to them actually thinking that I wasn't going to get approved because they are very, very particular in the people that they invite to vend at their events. Like they don't accept MLMs. You have to submit like product lists, but not only the products, but the packaging and ingredients. They don't like a lot of single use like plastics. They don't like they have a range of things that they prefer not to have at their markets. And I wasn't sure if I was going to fit the bill on that one. I actually did get approved to be a vendor at their events. I'm very excited for that. I think it's going to be really nice and it attracts kind of the crowd that I'm going for. So that'll be really cool. I have, let's see, one of their events is in July. It's a beach and ocean themed event. So everything has to be beach and ocean themed. So if you're looking for products that you can make that are beach and ocean themed, definitely stick around to the channel, subscribe so you get notified when I post that vlog. I will have a vlog dedicated to making products for that specific market. I think it'll be a popular one. And so they have that one. And then in August, they have like a general craft fair. So I'm going to that as well. And then I'll do like a Christmas and lights. They have a Halloween one, but I'm not exactly sure. Halloween, that time of year tends to be very busy with my kids' sports schedules. So I don't really know what the fall will look like for me yet. So again, just looking for those more unique experiences for sure. The next one is growing pains. Guys, a summer goal of mine is to truly, truly get my growing pains under control. I have really been struggling in that area, especially as I'm kind of attending markets and seeing what sells and what doesn't. You know, before I was relying on what was selling online, and I'm finding, and I think you could probably agree, that doing markets in person has really kind of changed the outlook I have on my product offerings, because people in person, what I've noticed, like just specific example, what I have noticed is that people in person are not buying bath salts. People online are buying bath salts or bath soaks, and they're also buying them as gifts, but people in person are not interested. And I find it very fascinating. I'm selling a ton of candles and a lot of soaps, things like that. So for me, I really need to hone in on what is selling and making sure I'm purchasing those types of items in larger quantities. I know that UPS, FedEx, etc. is getting tired of coming all the way down our dirt driveway, and I don't blame them at all. And I also don't like the amount of packaging that I get. It just, and it doesn't really align. I kind of, and it's my own fault, right? It's nobody else's fault but my own. So if I can kind of hone in on my offerings and really stick to purchasing larger amounts of things, then I can get less packages. But it's kind of one of those catch-22s because, I might need 50 candle vessels later, but I don't need 50 right now. And then you spend more money, but then you have to have the more money to spend in the first place, if that makes sense. Maybe it's just my brain that thinks that way, but I really need to work on those growing pains for sure. Now, my next summer goal is to get a couple more retail partnerships. I right now have one, and it is a local yoga studio. I'm very happy with having my products there. We basically have a commission style relationship. I go every 2 weeks and kind of rotate out products that have been sitting and bring in new items or replenish what has been sold. I give the business owner 25% commission on items that were sold. That worked better for us than a traditional wholesale model. And if you have questions about that, I can gladly answer them. It's different than I think most people are used to, but I actually really prefer this. And, I'm going to save all the rest of the information on that for a separate video because that's going to make this 10 hours long. So if you're interested in hearing more about that and have a question, drop it in the comments below so I can answer it in that video. What I'm looking for is 2 more. One, I kind of have, I'm in the starting phases of. We have talked a couple of times. So hopefully that will be my first partnership. And then the second, I have a couple of ideas in mind, but I haven't reached out to anyone yet. I also covered this goal in my last video, or my last video of my goals. So I'm not going to go too far into it because everything else remains the same. But I am working through my stash of ingredients and products, or things that I bought to make products. And some of them, actually a lot of them, I will not be repurchasing. One, just very brief, is my whipped foaming base. I don't know what it is, but this new base that I got, which is the same base that I had before, just a new bucket of it. It's not the same, and I can't figure out what changed, but the consistency is not what I'm looking for anymore. Again, I don't know what changed, but so for example, that once I use this bucket of base up, I'm not going to repurchase the base. I will have to take some time to reformulate it. And that is what it is, because again, I'm looking to offer like amazing products. I don't want just some, oh yeah, she has a scrub. I want it to be an amazing scrub, right? So once I use that base, I'm going to have to reformulate. And then again, things like fragrance oils. I have a plethora of wonderful fragrance oils that I will not repurchase. And I've talked about making a fragrance oil spreadsheet before, and I really think that I'm going to do it because the amount of different fragrance oils can be so overwhelming. And I think that it's important to have someone that you trust, that, when you're like, man, I really need a good orange fragrance oil. Like, where should I start? I think that having a fragrance oil sheet would be good for that. I'm actually going to add that to my goals. I'm going to put make a fragrance oil spreadsheet, add it to my goals, and then maybe I'll put it on my Patreon. I'll probably put it on the Patreon, and it'll just kind of be like an ever updating list of fragrance oils and their uses and good things about them. If there's any pros, cons, those kinds of things. I think we're hitting at the end. I had to move my notebooks over here. Let me see. Staying strong on streamlining. I don't really think that needs any further discussion, but yeah, I did a good job with that. So now I need to continue that. Oh, finding reputable suppliers. Let me tell you what, it's been a real challenge to stay consistent and go through my growing pains not having reputable suppliers. I use Makesy for quite a bit of my packaging and ingredients, and I will definitely continue to use them. I went through a really bad time, like especially with my personalized packaging. So I had ribbon and I loved it. It was beautiful. And I got it from Etsy, and I've shown it in a couple videos. I'll pop a picture of some products that have it up here in the corner. And it was so nice. So I made some samples of candles boxed in a gift box with that ribbon around it for a local real estate agent. In hopes that, you know, she might want to form a kind of relationship there. And then I could offer her, she gives these like really nice, grand, like baskets to people when she sells houses to them. And I know because we have gotten some, she is our agent, right? So I've gotten some of her really nice baskets before. And I thought that these might be a really great gift item to put in the basket. So I ordered new ribbon, and the seller of the ribbon I originally found on Etsy. The seller of the ribbon, the first time I ordered, they shipped very quickly. The second time I ordered, when I realized that I wasn't going to have enough for this candle order, because she did order 6 of them, I realized I wasn't going to have enough. So I ordered a second roll. 2 weeks later, it still hadn't shipped. So I emailed the business owner, and she, oh yes, it's shipping. Sorry, I got behind. Like, no problem, whatever. But I still have yet to receive. I actually filed a case with Etsy last week and got a refund for it. But that put me in a really crappy spot with that agent. You know, having to rely on someone else is very challenging, especially when you don't know if you can trust that person. So I think I'm definitely searching for reputable suppliers, and I highly recommend, if you take anything from this video, it is that you need to make sure you have reputable suppliers. Again, I put some lovely links to some wonderful products in the description below. You can also check to see if my fragrance oil spreadsheet is up on my Patreon. I do have a couple of resources on there already for anyone who wants to join that. And otherwise, I will see you in my next video.